Welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to do a reading that I did spontaneously. It was a channeling of Malcolm X's energy signature, not so much his spirit, but my tapping into his energy in the current. And this is what came out of the cards as a result. And I asked him what he thought about the collective in America, about the black race, and about the Democrats, and and if he could provide advice, prediction for us, some guidance. And so the first column represents where we're at, right? The collective, the black race, the Democrats. The middle section represents Malcolm X's voice, his guidance, his prediction, right? And we've got 3 columns here, but I'm going to have to move the camera. Right now you can only see 2 rows, but I've got 3 rows and 3 columns. And then the third column represents what we're going to do. You know, are we going to take his advice and guidance? What will we be dealing with in the future if we don't take that advice and guidance? Or if we take that advice and guidance, what are we dealing with in the future, you know? So hopefully this third column will reveal that. So let's get started. Hold on, I need to lotion my hands, they're dry. And you'll have to forgive I'm getting a manicure tomorrow. My nails have been beat up cooking Thanksgiving dinner all day yesterday and the day before. I hope everybody had a nice holiday. So, let's start with the Page of Wands here and Il Nemico. This is the collective moving with passion, impulse, trying to spark change. It's youthful energy, it's reactive energy. It's we want something different and we want it now. Il Nemico reverse tells us that our enemy isn't hidden anymore. The threat is out in the open, and we know who's against us, and we can see the sabotage clearly. So the story is the collective took action, but the action wasn't grounded. It was more emotional than strategic, and that exposed who our real antagonists were. This is all past energy. This is people marching, shouting, voting, protesting, but not with unified strategy. It's fire without form, just the beginnings, just the start. But that fire has forced the opposition to show its true colors. This is what's brought us here now, right? Now we have Malcolm's energy. And we've got the Fool and Desperado per Gelosa, consumed with jealousy. So Malcolm is speaking in these cards, and he's being very blunt. He's saying, you walked, and he's talking to the collective, he's talking to the Democrats, he's talking to the black race. He's saying you walked into this era too trusting, too naive, and the ones in power reacted out of fear and jealousy, not logic. The Fool says we moved without a plan, and the jealousy card shows how emotional that backlash was. Envy, fear, threatened white masculinity. It threatened their identity. It threatened their power. So he's saying we underestimated how threatened they were by our rise. We underestimated how threatened they were by our rise. And this is all like past energy, right? What got us here, what got us here. We were too liberal. it revealed, the mask came off. Their true colors were shown. Our enemies became exposed. They were threatened, too threatened by our rise. Next, we have the 7 of Coins and military. The 7 of Coins can represent a waiting period, something dragging out or slow progress, and military represents structure, enforcement, a system tightening the rules. So the collective is doing what oppressed people always end up doing when the system is clamping down on them. We wait, we hold back, we take smaller steps, we keep trying, but the system slows everything down. It's not passive, it's restrictive. And military says protests get regulated, reform gets bogged down, progress gets reviewed, delayed, under committee, the rules tighten. This also represents the 10 of Swords. And under that meaning, it says the collective feels stabbed in the back, like every win turns into another betrayal. So basically, we, the collective, act from passion. The enemy revealed himself. MALCOM says that we moved in naivety and triggered insecure power. And the future energy here shows the system slowed everything down on purpose. They stalled the movement so the fire wouldn't spread. And that's the ice, the military that he's trying to command to restrict our protests and our fighting back. In the present energy, we have the 7 of Cups and falsita. Wow. Delusion, illusion, lies, rats, snakes. There's confusion, there's lies, there's tricks, there's manipulation. The collective is overwhelmed. Too much media, too many narratives, too much bullshit, too many fears, too many illusions. And Falsita says a lot of what you're hearing is just lies, manufactured lies, designed to confuse you right now. This is political spin, propaganda, misinformation, strategic distraction. The collective is pulled in 10 different directions emotionally and mentally. And MALCOM is saying, and we got the devil reversed. There's a little bit of nudity here, so we'll just cover that up. Got the devil reversed. And then we have, that's clarified by La Costanza. So this is MALCOM's voice, MALCOM's advice and guidance and prediction. He's saying the chains are breaking because we're seeing the truth, right? They've revealed their true colors. We know where the enemy is now and who the enemy is, right? But we have to stay steady. Truth without discipline doesn't free us. But the spell is breaking. We're staying solid, consistent, and grounded. This is advice to the collective, to the black race, to the Democrats. So he's saying, it's good that you're waking up. It's good. Don't fall asleep again. We have to take action now that we're awake. But this awakening is fragile. And this is what the collective will be doing next. This is the present time. We're still relying too heavily on the system. The Hierophant is tradition, the establishment, the old order. Domestico is a servant of that order, someone enforcing the rules. So the future actions show the collective appealing to institutions, hoping for justice through official channels, looking for the courts, government, and authority figures to provide solutions, trying to work within the system. And MALCOM's energy here is saying those institutions will always serve the house they belong to, not to you. So the collective tries, but the system remains itself, unchanging at this present moment. And we're confused without aim and without solid truth binding us, unifying us. So much confusion. We're confused by the lies, MALCOM says. The chains are breaking, but we have to stay grounded. The future shows the collective is still trying to work with the same system that keeps disappointing us. We can't build on the same. We need to clear the foundation and rebuild. The foundation from the get-go was not stable. So there needs to be a tearing down of the system. Right? Not only did the Yahtzees and the maggots get exposed, but the truth is the system is full of lies, rats and snakes, and needs to be undone, rebuilt from the floor up. But we're still relying on old systems to save us, to be our savior. Now this is the future ahead. Let me move my camera. Be as quiet as I can. Okay. So we've got the 9 of coins reversed and the priest, sacerdote. So 9 of coins reversed can represent lack of independence, economic pressure. Sacerdote, it represents the King of Swords. He's the law, the judgment, the legal system, authority, and karma. So this is telling me economic freedom is still being blocked by the legal system. We're still dependent on policies, courts, decisions made by others, laws built before we existed, old structures deciding our opportunities. It's financial insecurity maintained through legal authority. This is for the collective, the black race, and the Democrats. We're still dependent on policies, courts, decisions made by others, laws built before we existed or were free, old structures deciding our opportunities. It's financial insecurity maintained through legal authority. MALCOM's voice is the star, and Sospiri reversed. Sospiri means sighs. So the future is hopeful, but it's slow. Don't confuse delay with denial. It's also my card of reparations. So there's hope that the future will bring us reparations, because that's what's needed to heal the karma of this country. The Israelites left Egypt and they were given reparations. God told them to be generous, told the Egyptians to be generous and liberal in their gifts to the Israelites before they left the nation. Right? And then using those reparations, they went into their promised land and they started their new life, their kingdom, their domain. So the future is hopeful, but it's slow. Don't confuse delay with denial. The star is destiny, healing, the long arc. So spirit reverse equals frustration, waiting too long, feeling forgotten. So he's saying to us, Malcolm X is saying to us, we will get there, but we're going to get tired along the way. But we have to stay the course. He's telling the collective, don't lose patience. Don't lose faith. Don't lose sight of the vision and the goal. Don't stop healing. Don't stop. Don't abandon the long-term fight. We are with you. The universe is behind you. And this is the collective's future behavior, the black race future behavior, the Democrats' future behavior. Read into it what you will. I'm just giving you the energy. Right? Two of Cups is unity, partnership. Amuletto, though, is sickness, weakness, recovery, something wounded. So we try to unify, but the unity is sick. It's not in alignment. Trust is low. We don't feel like brothers and sisters because our trauma isn't healed. And alliances feel fragile. Unity doesn't last. Fear or exhaustion undermines our progress. This is Malcolm saying we have to heal the wound first. Right? That's where my anti-blackness protocol, I would wish everybody would just get a copy of it. We really need to address our own, blacks need to address our own self-hate caused by our conditioning here in America. And all races need to look at their anti-blackness beliefs because they have a lot of it. And that's what needs to be healed. Each individual needs to take that upon themselves to heal. We have to heal the wound first, then we can unite. We have to understand we don't need their permission. We don't need the courts to make it a law. We are equal. We are the same. We are all children of God. Worthy and deserving and equal. And our minds are sick. Our minds need to be healed. Our mindset about our freedom and our power needs to be healed. That's the sick man. That's the sick mind. And I feel we shouldn't be so trusting because maybe that's my problem. I don't trust anymore. That I feel like Until we heal those wounds, we can't truly trust one another. Until we heal those wounds within ourselves. The Israelites were in the wilderness for 40 years before they crossed over to the Promised Land. Why? It stated that the land that they were, the mass of land that they were crossing should have only taken 6 weeks to cross. Why did it take them 40 years? It's my belief that the old generation had to die out. The mindset of slavery had to die out. We never left the mindset. We stayed in this country. We didn't get our reparations. We didn't get our fresh start, our new beginning. We stayed in the old mindset. And that's why we're still here. That's why we haven't moved on. That's why we haven't healed. I think Malcolm had something when he said that we needed to go back to Africa. But at the same time, that's not necessary to take such an extreme measure. But we do need what we're owed to get on the same level, to get on equal level and footing as others. And that's owed to us because we built this country for fucking free. We didn't immigrate here. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. In the words of Malcolm X. We're still economically restrained by the system. And Malcolm says the future is hopeful but slow, and our unity is fragile because our wound hasn't healed yet. The division, the proximity to whiteness desires, giving them power. To empower? We're not asking you to give us anything. We're asking for what we are owed. Got the Page of Cups, emotional rebirth, Denari, blessings, generosity, and support. A new emotional movement arises. Youth, creative, intuitive, aligned. It's the next generation, right? Because the next generation didn't have that slave mentality. It was the generation that died out, had to die out. The old generation had to die out. The old mindset had to die out. We have to come from a place of knowing who and what we are and the power that we yield, that we wield. This is me channeling raw for you guys, you know? This is why I don't do this stuff live. And I normally taper this stuff down. I rewrite, I record and I rewrite my stuff, my truths, because sometimes it comes out, I don't know, too controversial, I guess. But I'm just speaking the truth as it's coming through me. The next generation is stepping forward now. Empathy, emotional intelligence, community building energy, new communication styles, new ways of uniting, a softer power, a healing power. And Denari brings actual material support, grants, community funds, grassroots, economics, mutual aid, and real-world support. It's a cultural rebirth. So, in the past, we acted with passion. But MALCOM says we were naive to believe in the system, that it would be fair with us. Our new beginnings simply threatened the old system, and they slowed us down on purpose. They slowed our growth and progress. We're confused by all the lies, by all the conditioning. Years, generations of conditioning, whitewashing everything, including the Bible. You never hear about anything having to do with black people in the Bible, but we're all in and through the Bible. They just don't preach it. They don't talk about it because it's whitewashed. We're confused by the lies. MALCOM says we have to stay grounded because this awakening is real. We're busting out. And the collective is still trying to rely, though, on broken institutions. Our Democrats are still trying to rely on the broken institutions. We have to rebuild from the ground up. It's okay what's happening. It's tearing down the old structure. When we get back in power, we will build back better. And the future is hopeful. He says there's hope. Even though we're still blocked financially by the legal systems, hope is slow, but real, and with unity, an effort to heal the wounds. With effort to heal the wounds, we can unify and strengthen our bonds. But if we don't heal the wounds, then we will stay weak and hope will die. It's a challenge. It's not a guarantee. But the new generation will rise and bring the healing and the resources the collective couldn't get from the system. I wonder how that's going to play out. So MALCOM's final message to us all is to stop waiting on the system to validate us, to free us, because it never, ever will. We have to heal ourselves. We have to heal each other. And with unity, then we will stop being sick. When we come together, we'll stop being sick. Our children will take us farther than we ever got. So we have to raise our children up right. We have to give them right wisdom, knowledge. We have to take them out of the brainwashing. We have to change their mindset. We have to expose them to our true history. And with all that's available in the social media right now, you can find the truth. It's amongst a lot of lies and bullshit, but it's out there. It is there. And when we find it, we have to raise our children up with this truth. That they're not lower class. They never were. That's the system talking. And until they do right by us, until you do right by me, everything is going to fail. That's why America's going through this. Pure and simple, they have to do right by black and brown people. They have to allow the old system to break and a new one that's inclusive to all to be built. So that's my reading, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, found it healing, helpful, hopeful, insightful. I don't know. If you do or don't, whatever, just sharing with you what I felt a call to say. May the right ears hear it, and the wrong ears just, keep to yourself. And have a blessed and wonderful day. God bless you all. God bless America. God bless the black race. Please take a look at my anti-blackness pendulum protocol video. Consider purchasing the protocol for yourself and, do the shadow work and find out what beliefs you hold, and this is for black people and all races to do. Trust me, just because you're black doesn't mean you don't have anti-black beliefs. You were raised in it, and you hold it. And when you hold that, you hate yourself. This is part of the healing journey. I hope you will consider it. Many blessings. The link for the video will be in the corner at the end of this video. And the link to the protocol itself is available at my Etsy store. That will be in the description box. All right? Many blessings. Bye.